I do wish you'd come and met with me at the Lucky 38 when you first arrived on the Strip. Or after Benny fled, even. Quite an honor you spurned, my invite. You would be the first person to set foot inside the Lucky 38 in over 200 years. But you still wound up here, right where I wanted you. I knew I could rely on Caesar to return the platinum chip to you. The platinum chip unlocks this bunker. Hence, you have it. Hence, Benny was captured or killed, possibly by you, but by my estimates, far more probably by Caesar's legion. Hence, Caesar gave you the chip. Hence, Caesar wants you to destroy whatever you find in this bunker. But that's not going to happen, because you're going to work for me. Surely you know that I am Robert Edwin House, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the New Vegas Strip. I oversaw the city's renovations starting from 2274 onward. The 3 families are my employees. That's rather obvious, isn't it? The platinum chip is a data storage device. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at. The same equipment failure that prevents me from remotely operating this facility seems to have activated its security robots and turrets. There's a security room near the base of the stairs. Perhaps you can deactivate them yourself. My army will do what an army does best: defend territory from invaders and maintain order. Good. I won't hold you up any longer.
New Vegas, the city of lights, sin, and synthetic smiles. In a world where everything's turned to dust, somehow this place still shines. But behind the glow, behind the holograms and casinos, sits one man, or rather, one machine, pulling the strings. Robert House. When I first met him, I thought I was joining a visionary, a man who'd rebuilt Vegas from radioactive ashes. But little did I know, I was walking straight into the mind of a control-obsessed tyrant. When you first hear the name Mr. House, it sounds mythical. The guy who kept New Vegas untouched during the Great War. The man who used pre-war tech to protect the Strip from 77 out of 78 nukes. The man who beat the apocalypse with math, satellites, and sheer arrogance. And when you finally step into the Lucky 38, his domain, he's not even there. Just a massive monitor staring down at you, pixelated eyes, and that smug pre-war smile. He's polite, charismatic, but you can feel it. He's analyzing you, calculating every possible outcome of your conversation in real time. And that's how he gets you. You feel like you're a part of something bigger, a new civilization, not just another gang war in the Mojave. Working for Mr. House feels like progress.
Kudos. I take it you've come to deliver the platinum chip? I'll be happy to satisfy your every curiosity once the platinum chip has been delivered. Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious, so very dear. Decades of hiring salvagers out west to search for this little relic in the ruins of a place called Sunnyvale. Back then, anyway. That's where the chip was printed, on October 22nd, 2077. It was to have been hand-delivered to me here at the Lucky 38 the next day. But the bombs fell first. Suffice it to say, the delivery was never made. Yes, so far as you've seen, all it does is change the picture on the Securitron's face screens from policemen to soldiers. But as you'll see, some things are more easily shown than told. Take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level, and you'll see what I mean. Don't worry, you'll like what you see. We have much to accomplish, you and I. Step closer to the demonstration area, if you would. I expect you're well familiar with my Securitrons by now. The titanium alloy housing that protects its electronic core deflects small arms and shrapnel easily enough. Its X-25 Gatling laser, produced to spec by Glassinghouse Inc., is deadly against soft targets at medium range. And for close-range suppression or crowd control, the Securitron is armed with a 9mm submachine gun. All of this you probably already knew. What you did not know is that these are the Securitron's secondary weapons. All this time, my Securitrons have had to get by running the Mark I operating system, which lacked software drivers for their primary weapons. Today, with the delivery of the Platinum chip, all that changes. Behold, for the first time, Securitrons running the Mark II OS. The M235 missile launcher gives the Securitron the ability to engage ground and air targets at significantly longer ranges. And a rapid-fire G-28 grenade launcher ensures the Securitron is deadly in close-range engagements. The software upgrade also includes drivers for the Securitron's highly sophisticated on-board auto-repair systems. Altogether, the Mark II software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. The city of New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. Return to the penthouse now. We have much to discuss. Trips to the basement are rarely so educational, don't you think? I've since broadcast the upgrade to every Securitron in range of my transmitters, and I must say, it's causing quite a stir down on the Strip. Why would I want to go to war against the NCR? They're my best customers. If their leaders weren't scheming to steal Vegas out from under me, I'd have no troubles with the NCR at all. The foundation is laid. My Securitrons on the Strip are upgraded, and those at the fort ready for action. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the attitudes of some lesser groups while we wait for Caesar's Legion to attack Hoover Dam. What did you want to discuss? I've resurrected Vegas, spirit intact. What I need now is the ability to enforce my rightful claim. Not just against Caesar's Legion, by the way. In fact, the NCR is a more present and insidious threat. To enforce, one must have force, a position of strength. Years ago, when I detected NCR scouts roaming the Mojave. I could tell from their uniforms that these were no mere tribesmen. I knew it was only a matter of time before an army appeared to take control of the dam, and I knew my Securitrons wouldn't be enough to oppose them. And so I recruited the 3 families. Vegas belongs to me because I mustered enough strength to bring the NCR to the bargaining table. Indeed it was, and still is, but not without taking significant casualties. Would Kimball and Oliver have traded the lives of hundreds of soldiers for absolute control of Hoover Dam? Oh, yes. They weren't afraid of me. They were afraid of Caesar, that attacking me would leave them vulnerable to a Legion offensive. And so they negotiated. Not out of the kindness of their hearts, as they try to make it seem, because the calculus of power left no other choice. NCR forces were permitted to occupy Hoover Dam and establish a military base at McCarran Airport. Well, it used to be one. They recognized my sovereignty over the Vegas Strip and agreed to supply electricity and water once their engineers repaired the dam. Written into the treaty were provisions that the NCR do nothing to prevent its soldiers and civilians from visiting the Strip. That's how I harnessed the NCR to my endeavor. Their occupation has been the engine of my growing economy. The salient issue is that they will go to war with me if given the chance. There's just one reason why the NCR hasn't contrived some outrage to justify invading the Strip. Caesar's Legion. The final battle between those 2 armies is fast approaching. I can't afford to let either side win on their terms. What else did you want to discuss? New Vegas is more than a city. It's the remedy to mankind's derailment. The city's economy is a blast furnace in which can be forged the steel of a new rail line running straight to a new horizon. What is the NCR? A society of people desperate to experience comfort, ease, luxury. A society of customers. With all that money pouring in, give me 20 years, and I'll reignite the high technology development sectors. 50 years, and I'll have people in orbit. 100 years, and my colony ships will be heading for the stars to search for planets unpolluted by the wrath and folly of a bygone generation. I prefer the term autocrat. I would rule as the chief executive. I would not answer to a board of directors or any other entity. Nothing to impede progress. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the windows. My judgment. I have no interest in abusing others, just as I have no interest in legislating or otherwise dictating what people do in their private time. Nor have I any interest in being worshipped as some kind of machine god messiah. I am impervious to such corrupting ambitions. But autocracy? Firm control in the hands of a technological and economic visionary? Yes, that Vegas shall have. What else did you want to discuss? General Oliver's strategy, or tunnel vision, as I like to call it, has been to mass troops at Hoover Dam. He wants to outfight the Legion in a straightforward slugging match, and then, when they rout, pursue and destroy them in detail. A crushing, decisive victory of this sort would overshadow the tactical ingenuity of Chief Hanlon's defense 4 years ago, you see. A good deal should be obvious to you by now. I won't spoil the rest by talking out of turn. What else did you want to discuss? Hoover Dam, of course. A hydroelectric dam. The NCR had it up and running at 50% capacity within a year of occupying the dam. By treaty, New Vegas receives 5% of its output. More than enough. What else did you want to discuss? Goodbye.
So I signed up. I became House's courier, his enforcer, his messenger of destiny. He sends you on mission after mission, secure the platinum chip, upgrade the Securitrons, fortify the strip. And the deeper you go, the more you realize his dream makes sense. He doesn't want chaos like Caesar. He doesn't want democracy like the NCR. He wants efficiency, control, and order, a sterile version of utopia where humans are just variables in his master equation. The strip starts to change. You see robots replacing humans, gamblers smiling nervously as Securitrons watch every move. It's working, but it's also chilling. You start to wonder, is this the cost of stability?
Morning.
Pearl sent word saying it's all right to tell you about the lady in the water. A long time ago, long before the war that killed just about everything that ever lived, a bomber crashed not far from here. A bomber was a flying contraption that could drop explosives down on anything it flew over. But anyway, moving on. This bomber crashed down in Lake Mead, pretty damn near intact. When we got to Nellis, see, I found this article in a magazine all about it. There was another B-29 around here, part of a museum. Couldn't fly, but had a lot of spare parts, see? Get where I'm going? Since I was a young man, I've dreamed of raising that lady from the lake and bringing her back to life. What do you say? Simple. Attach deployable ballast to the plane and float it on up. Here is a remote detonator. Once the ballast is attached to the plane, just hit the detonator from the shore and let buoyancy handle the rest. Good. Here's the deployable ballast. Go find the plane, attach the ballast, and hit the button. Might try holding your breath. If that doesn't sound good enough.
Morning.
You have done well.
Really?
I've never been so happy in... I just need some parts from a pressure cooker to create a hermetic seal for the rebreather. That's a brilliant idea. I can put that together right now. Here you go. A new rebreather.
So we may see our dream of flight soon? It's going to be a dream come true. I told you, at the bottom of Lake Mead. I'll make sure the location is displayed on your Pip-Boy map. I wish you... Don't... It's going to be a dream come true once you've raised that bomber from... That's tremendous. I'll transmit instructions to the robots to start packing up the plane to bring it back to Nellis. I just told you, the robots are going to handle it. They'll break the plane down into pieces and move it up from Colville Bay in one shot. We've got that covered. It won't be a problem. Let's just say they'll be a little distracted for a while.
The turning point for me was when I asked Mr. House about humanity, about freedom, and his answer, cold, logical, brutal. Mr. House, democracy is inefficient. People are irrational. They need guidance. That's when it hit me. This wasn't a savior. It was a man trapped in a pre-war fantasy, a decaying relic clinging to his ego, wrapped in wires and tubes. The strip wasn't reborn. It was reprogrammed. And when you finally see him in person, that's when everything changes. The god of New Vegas reduced to a frail, mummified corpse hooked up to machines. His voice echoing through a speaker, begging for control he doesn't even physically have anymore. That's when I knew he didn't build a city, he built a prison. The turning point for me was when I asked Mr. House about humanity, about freedom, and his answer, cold, logical, brutal. Mr. House, democracy is inefficient. People are irrational. They need guidance. That's when it hit me. This wasn't a savior. It was a man trapped in a pre-war fantasy, a decaying relic clinging to his ego, wrapped in wires and tubes. The strip wasn't reborn. It was reprogrammed. And when you finally see him in person, that's when everything changes. The god of New Vegas reduced to a frail, mummified corpse hooked up to machines. His voice echoing through a speaker, begging for control he doesn't even physically have anymore. That's when I knew he didn't build a city, he built a prison. So I made my choice. I betrayed him, not for power, not for caps, but because no one, not even the man who saved New Vegas, should hold the entire Mojave in their cold, digital grip. When you walk back into that sterile white control room and disable his life support, you feel something. He's not screaming, he's disappointed, and maybe part of you is too. Because deep down, you know he was right about one thing. Humanity needs order, but not that kind of order. Not one built on fear and surveillance. The moment his monitors go dark, Vegas breathes again. The strip feels alive, messy, unpredictable, human. So yeah, I worked for Mr. House. I built his empire, then I ended it. Because sometimes, to save the future, you have to kill the man who thinks he already owns it.
Why have you done this? Centuries of preparation. So much good undone. Your vanity project doomed to fail. No! Don't disable Cerebro! I'd rather be killed. Just kill me. I have nothing to say to you.